Hi, thank you for watching my lesson. This is going to be on the unplugged version of Nirvana's About a Girl from the 1994 Unplugged MTV Unplugged in New York album, I believe it's called. We're going to be looking at the whole song. We're going to be looking at the intro, stroke, verse, chord progression, the chorus chord progression, the chords played behind the solo, and the solo itself. There's going to be some on-screen tabs, some chord diagrams. So that's it. Let's get stuck into it now. If you want more of these, I've done 3 other songs from this album as well. They'll be in the description below. If you'd like to see a full PDF with the song structure laid out and the diagrams in the tab, that's also in the PDF below. Let's get started. So I'm keeping it in standard tuning because I'm being lazy, and I suspect some of you guys are not going to want to change your tuning either. So we're going to learn it in standard, but the MTV Unplugged one is in E flat, which means you've tuned down all your strings by half a step. As luck would have it, the electric version is in normal tuning, so we're going to be in the same key as that. And that version is basically the same, apart from one subtle difference, and of course the tuning. So let's try and crack through this one quickly. We're going to look at the intro stroke verse, which just repeats this. Over and over again, so like 4 times to the intro or 8 times, and then however many times to the verse. Just that. And all that is an E power chord, which I'll explain in a second, to a G. You could play it as an E minor, but that would be wrong, and it's just as easy to play it as an E power chord, and all we do is we make whatever finger is holding the D string lightly touch the G string so that you can't hear it. That is removing the third from the chord, so it is now no longer minor or major. It's a power chord. If you want to play as E minor, you can. Most people won't notice, but I will. So, E5 to G. I'm choosing to use a G open power chord, which is G, mute, open, open, free, free. You can play that G, or that G, or that G. Doesn't matter too much. Over and over again. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Ignore the singing, that was particularly bad even by my standards. So that's it. That's going to play for the intro, the verse, and the tail end of the chorus. The choruses are going to finish with that 4 times. So that's half a bar each. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So nice and easy. The chorus is slightly trickier. So we're going to be doing this. Okay, so what we do there, we've got power chord, C sharp power chord. We're then going to do a C sharp power chord with a G sharp in the bass. Then we're going to be doing an F sharp 7 sus 4. Okay, so the C sharp power chord is the easiest. We have 4 on the A, 6, 6 on the D and the G, and we are not hearing the B and the E. They're being muted by the pinky and this finger, and the tip of my finger is muting the low E, so we can strum all the strings and just hear these. We're then going to move this finger up, keep those where they are, move that up. We're still going to be muting these 2 thin strings. So now we're playing 4, mute, 6, 6. And that is a C sharp 5 with a G sharp in the bass. Okay, you could, and some people do, play it just as a G sharp power chord, but it's not quite as good. If you want a simplified version though, that is what you would do. But what it should be is this. Okay, that's definitely what Kurt Cobain is doing for his guitar part. You're then going to move this down, and these two are going to go up, so it will be a traditional power chord shape now, F sharp, 2, 4, 4. We will be muting the G string with our pinky, and we're going to try and keep this time the B and the E open. Okay, because the tail end of the bar, we're going to hear those on the up strum. So altogether we're going to do this twice. Okay, so that is the first part of the chorus. We're then going to be doing this. And then this 4 times again. And then we're into the next part of the song. So that was E, A, C, E, A, C. Okay, you can do that once. You can use the E5 again, or you could use an E major. Sounds quite nice this time. That's it. Hopefully I didn't do that too fast, but I'm going to put it together. So this is a full rendition of the chorus. Okay, the other thing to note is that the C, Kurt Cobain is playing it as a bar chord. Okay, so that's 3 on the A, 5, 5, 5 on the D, G and the B. Sometimes with that shaped bar chord he's also playing the E string, in which case it would be 3, 3, 5, 5, 5. So either that or that. I think the other guitarist, who I believe is called Pat Smear, is holding an open C. Kurt Cobain is doing a bar chord C. So that's how we do the chorus. So we've got intro, verse, chorus, then we've got another verse, then we've got another chorus. Nothing's changed in how these verses and choruses are played. Then we've got the solo, which is essentially the verse chords. So those two, we do that 8 times. Then we play the chorus, that, and then That's it. But there's one subtle difference with the chorus. So after we've done this twice, one subtle difference with the chorus progression being played under the solo. So solo, remember, it's like a verse and a chorus, but that chorus a bit different because it does this. We have this bit which is normal. Do that twice. And then you'll hear this. So the observant among you will notice that instead of staying on the E for the whole bar before going to the A and the C, I played the E there, I then came up and played it here. Or, and all that really is a E bar chord up here, 7 on the A, 9, 9, 9 on the D, G, B. Because it's an E, it's probably a bit of an open E string as well. So we're moving from E5 power chord, and then the A, C is the same as before. So play the verse once, play the chorus once, all the while the solo's going on over it. And if we want to, we add this 2 voicings of the E in the same bar, which incidentally happens throughout most of the electric version, but only happens during the solo part of the unplugged version. That's it, I think, apart from the final chorus. So the final chorus, the only variation is we do this twice again. But then we do that again. So we did the E to A to C twice. It's the only time in the song we do it, and it's in the final chorus. Can I see you every night if I had add 2 additional bars of the C, all with these 8th note down strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to E5 to G to finish the whole song. Okay, that's it. So that's all of the chord progression, all of the parts covered, all the variations. Lastly, we're going to look at the solo. And the solo is really simple. Okay, can't remember how many times it happens, but all it really is this little sort of. So we hit the open E, the low E, and then immediately hammer on 5 to 7 on the A, and after you've done that hammer on, you're going to play 5 on the D string. Then you're going to do a double stop. You're going to play 7, 7 on the D and the G. So the tip of this finger's just played 5 on the D. Now it's going to slide up to 7 and then collapse so we can play the 7 beneath it as well. Then we're going to pick that again and we're going to slide that double stop, 7, 7 up to 9, 9 on the same strings. Okay. Once you've got to that 9, 9, you're going to play it twice. Now, you could go down, up, and try and hit both strings both times. You could go down, hitting the 9 on the D, up, hitting the 9 on the G. It doesn't matter too much. You're then going to play it one more time and slide up to 12, 12. And once you've got to that 12, you're going to play that 3 times. And you can really see Kurt Cobain's like going up and down, plucking both of them. So they're not really strums, they're not really individual picks, he's kind of pushing through them. That's it. It's really easy. I mean, it's more kind of the feel and the rhythm, which is slightly tricky. But the notes themselves, you'll see in the tab, pretty straightforward. That's all it is. And then when you finish that, you're back to this part of the chorus, or the start of the chorus. And this is the chorus where you're hearing this different E voicing. That's it. That's the whole song. Hopefully that covered it all. Any questions, let me know below. And I'll see you for the next one, which I think will be Where Did You Sleep Last Night? So, take care. Bye.